trees normally grow in a woodland, and there's no grass. There's very little competition in the sward around the tree that's growing. And if you think about edges of woodland, they've got brambles or bracken and that sort of thing coming out. So again, the grass is wiped out. So when we're planting in fields like this and it's all grass, well, I call it the green hell. You've got this very fast-moving system in the grass that's taking up all the nutrients, and it's just sort of robbing the tree of moisture and nutrients. So what we're trying to do is replicate that, which in the forest you'll get by the shade coming in, the brambles coming in, that sort of thing, and wiping out the grass, and then the trees can grow. So we're going to wipe out the grass. Now we can do this. The Forestry Commission did some studies back in the 80s to look at how this could happen, and they found that actually killing all of the vegetation was the best method of control. So kind of napalm death. So what they found though, that if you do a 1 meter spot around the tree, and back then it was chemicals, still is to a large degree, that meter would be almost the equivalent of doing the whole thing. So now our practice is to do weed control 1 meter around each tree. We're trying to move away from chemicals. About 20 years ago, I worked with a friend who's on an organic farm, and we developed this system called Mat and Mulch. This is the mat. It has a little keyhole in the middle, so we can slip it around the tree and slot it down like that.
It's cardboard, right?
Yeah, it's just cardboard.
Nothing special about it.
Recycled cardboard.
Right.
So it's 70%, I think, recycled content. It's basically 9 microns, which is 0.9 of a millimetre. Same as your cornflake packet. Thicker cardboard's good, you can make your own. I do sell these now because there's quite a demand for them, but you can make your own out of cardboard boxes. You can do a DIY thing. You know, these to have them stamped out in the cardboard, they're 50p each. So, you know, if you want to make your own, for a few trees it's worth it. On a big thing like this, you need them stamped out. It takes ages otherwise. So the mat goes down. We're going to do like a ground sheet on your lawn. Put the tent up for the kids. A week later, it's killed a whole load of the grass on the lawn. So you've got the cardboard to kill the grass, and then to hold the cardboard down, a bucket full of mulch on top. And any old mulch will do. Right. This is tree surgery waste. It's fresh from the tree, fresh from the chipper. You know, it's completely raw. And what it's going to do, it's going to suck nutrient out of that soil. It's going to pull all the nitrogen out. It needs nitrogen to break down. So all that carbon is going to use up all the nitrogen that's in the soil around the tree. And you think, well, hang on, if you're taking all the nitrogen out of the tree, isn't the tree going to suffer? The tree will grow on a much lower nitrogen level than the grass will. So what we actually want to do is reduce the nitrogen level, get rid of that kind of grassy, the green hell as I call it, and get a woodland soil going. The other side of it is that all this woody matter is the same as a woodland. You've got all this nice chunky bits of wood in here. This is where all the fungi are going to come. They're going to charge in here and go, right, we need to inoculate here, we need to get going, we need to start breaking this down. So immediately we'll be starting to create a kind of woodland environment around this tree on a sort of micro scale, but that will get the tree established, get it away, and then once it's got its root down, 2 or 3 years is all we need, then the tree's on its own and it's fine. We've just got to get through those first 2 years, and that's why weed control is really important.
So do we come back and put more mulch on, or is that it?
That'll be it, really. The cardboard will only last 2 or 3 months at most, but it'll kill the grass. So the grass is dead, and then the grass won't really recolonise this. It will a bit, but it'll struggle because it's so woody and it's so lacking in nitrogen. It won't really like it. So what you end up with is a sort of spot of much less weeds around the tree in year 2. Maybe not completely weed-free, but a lot less weeds, and a much more beneficial environment for the tree.
And the cardboard is presumably non-polluting. It hasn't got anything dodgy in it.
No,
it could just decompose.
It's just decomposed. It's just recycled cardboard. Yeah. There's a few flecks of colouring in it, but it's work. And we did this 20 years ago. We think we've probably done over 250,000 trees with this system now. There's a guy up in East Anglia who had a muck spreader and a huge toilet roll of cardboard on the back and rolled it out. And the Forestry Commission, when they went and did the plots, when they looked at their plots, they couldn't believe the tree growth. It's amazing because it really seems to, it's almost like a tree enhancement system rather than just a weed control system, but that's what we want both, so
perfect.
Ideal.
Tell me that thing you told me before about the environment inside this little
tube. Basically, as a tree grows, it's giving off CO2 itself. It's the same as us, actually. This whole thing of trees breathing in CO2 and giving us oxygen, they do both. They breathe like us. They're aerobic beings too, so they breathe in oxygen, give out CO2. But the CO2 that they give out during the night, because that's when there isn't so much oxygen being produced, actually builds up in the tube and enhances their growth. They sort of like it to grow because it then, when the daytime comes and they start photosynthesizing, they use that CO2 and breathe out oxygen. And
is
so
it-
there's this balance, and that's the CO2 concentration there makes the tree grow more.
And is it also making a little greenhouse effect?
Yeah,
warming
it is.
up in there.
It warms up in
Is it?
there.
Is
It's
it?
sheltering it. Yeah, the whole thing is you're mollycoddling this little tree inside this plastic tube,
So
or
we're-
any kind of tube. There's some new ones out there where they're made of cardboard.
Next year we'll be doing the
Next
new.
year we'll be doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dave. And how's the weather?
Ah, lovely, isn't it? Storm Dennis is here.
Is
and
it
everyone
here or is
said
it coming?
Yeah, it's coming. But they all said, it's going to be a wipeout. And look, it's
Got
it's
21 people here.
21 people, a little bit of a
Hardcore.
breeze.
Some
Hardcore.
children, many
but,
dogs.
I think the slope is more difficult than the weather today. We don't know. This is where trees belong. There's no farmer's going to plough this up or run his tractor around on here, or take these trees out and put it
Or
back to
her.
agriculture anytime soon. Once this is trees, we've got it. Tree concrete.
Explain where we are and what we're doing.
So we're at Moorhays Farm,
Yeah.
which is a small farm. They're diversifying, reducing stock, like a lot of farmers, I guess. And they've got some patches which have always been steep, not really used. It's quite easy to take them out. We could do this thousands, millions of sites all over the country
Yep.
where there's little bits that could just be planted up. And we've probably planted half an acre, 3/4 of an acre here at Moorhays.
Last time.
With the last
Yeah.
2 or 3
Which is
bits
over
that we've
there,
done.
isn't it?
So yeah, it's up the top there. And what we've done is sort of bulked out and sort of...
Here's the farmer herself.
here's the farm.
Annabelle, tell us what we're doing. You're welcome. Tell us what we're doing in terms of why we're planting here and what we're joining up and stuff.
Well, this bit is just too steep for us. We're not intensive. So we have got the farm and we've got some fantastic neighbours who are renting out some of the land for grass keep. But we're hoping to improve the soil quality and get the worms going, get everything else going so we can just cut out any of the fertiliser. But on this bit it's just so steep, we want to extend the woodland. We'll take out that fence and so hopefully we'll get a nice broad sweep for the wildlife and a bit of cover on this slope so it'll build up the organic matter here. And then it will carry on up to a corridor to the bit that we did last time, and then all the way down to the Washfield Woods as well.
So it really is linking up. Do you know any idea how big an area we've now is now all linked up, or will be?
No, I don't know. It must be a couple of miles.
It's a couple of miles.